Okay, we're live, guys. It's me, Ron Harris. No longer MD Online Editor. Just me, Ron Harris, 32 years in the bodybuilding industry. Thank you guys so much for coming over to my channel. I would say it's my new channel, but I actually started this channel in 2007. Haven't done much with it since I've been full-time with MD these last almost 7 years, but obviously with MD being gone, it's time to make a comeback. So let's get to your chat soon. But I'll start off by explaining how I began with MD because it's a kind of an interesting story. So in 2001, I was writing for everybody: Ironman, Muscle Mag International, Planet Muscle, all kinds of publications, probably about 20 different publications here and there, but those are the main ones. Hadn't done anything for MD yet. A guy named Josh Brown, he wrote articles for MD, mostly interviews under this pseudonym, The Sandwich. And very, very, I don't want to say obscene, just very colorful. He would ask questions of these people, especially women athletes. I would never in my wildest dreams dare to ask. In fact, now you couldn't even ask these questions. You'd be canceled in a minute. A lot of sexual stuff. Anyway, he also did a lot of the athlete columns, the Q&A, the ghostwriting, which entails calling up an athlete. At that time, we didn't have video conferencing. Asking them questions, writing down their answers, taking notes, whatever. Or you could record the phone call and transcribe it later. So he did a lot of those Q&A athlete columns for whoever we had under contract at the time. He was getting overwhelmed, didn't want to do so much of it anymore. From the stream, I already set up that one for you. Oh, Jen, I don't know. I didn't know you'd set up a stream. So hopefully this is the right stream. But yeah, sorry, we're on live, guys. So I can't really fix it now, Jen. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Anyway, he had an assignment for me there. I picked up a few of those. So I was double ghost. We were double ghost writing. It was Josh writing for these people, and I was writing for Josh. So he was giving me most of the money for the articles and keeping a chunk for himself. Anyway, 2001, it was early September. He had an assignment to do an interview, or an idea to do an interview with a woman named Jenna Jameson, who was at the time the world's leading adult film actress, star, producing her own films and everything at that point. He didn't want to do it. I'm not even sure why, but I had just done a couple of interviews for Testosterone, T-Mag, T-Nation. I did a lot of writing for them at the time. And he thought I would be the perfect person to do it. I said, sure. And I was actually talking to her agent, trying to set up a time to do the phone interview with Jenna when the first plane crashed into the World Trade Center on 9/11. So there was a little delay, but I got the article done. And then eventually Josh didn't want to do any more writing. I took over all those athlete columns, started doing features for MD, and that was early 2002. I started doing features, so a little more than 21 years writing features, and I've been full-time with MD, or I was full-time with MD, I should say, from January 2017 until last week. So let me see if Jen needs me to do anything with the stream. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that now, Jen. So I'm here for your questions, guys. Hopefully, if you're on this channel, if you're a subscriber for MD channel, I would hope you please subscribe to my channel. I'm here for all your questions and stuff. All good? Okay, thanks, Jen. So this is here. It's Ask Ron. I guess we'll start by bringing in a video of the flavor of the month, the guy here everyone wants to see, and that is Neckzilla. So we'll start off with that just to get things going. So this is Rubiel Mosquera. He is from Colombia. He has been an elite pro for a couple of years in that organization and decided he wanted to go over to the IFBB Pro League instead of the Elite League. And this is exactly what Michael Krizo did last year. And, they make them start all over again. You got to requalify and get your pro card in a qualifier. So Krizo had done it last year in, I think, at an amateur Olympia in Spain, I want to say. And then he made his pro debut at the EVLS Prague Pro last year. He won his pro debut, got a sixth at the Olympia. So Rubiel did following a very, very similar path. He also got his pro card. Actually, this time it was a little more convenient. He did it the day before, right there in Prague. They had a pro qualifier. I don't think it was called an amateur Olympia, but it was a pro qualifier. So he turned pro on Friday, I think. And then on Saturday, he competed in the Prague Pro against, guys who've been doing this a long time, and took third place behind winner Samson Dauda. Second place was Krizo. Krizo was hoping to pick up his Olympia qualification a little bit early for next year, because these shows that are happening after the Olympia, they're qualifying athletes for the 2024 Olympia. So he took third place behind those two, and he beat Nathan DeAsha, the prophecy. Nathan is damn good. He's won 2 pro shows this season. I think he has 11 pro wins now. Personally, I think Nathan has a better overall physique in terms of the flow, the structure, the shape. But this guy's just a freak, a straight up freak. Those legs are, I don't know if they're the biggest I've ever seen. They're not. I mean, Rami's legs are right up there, but I can't think of anyone with legs bigger than this. I'd say Rami has equally large legs. So what does Rubiel need? You can see here in the front double, he's kind of got he does have a thick waist. It's a blockier waist. His side shots, anybody who typically has like a blockier waist, you don't see anything in the side shots. You don't notice it. You're just freaked out. He has an amazing side chest, an amazing side tricep. The back is good, needs work. The upper body in general just needs to be a little bit bigger to catch up. As massive as he is, you could see that those legs just dominate everything, especially in the front double. The front double is the first pose they call, and that's where you see the overall flow and structure and shape of the physique, and you get a really good idea of proportions, balance, front to back, top to bottom, all that good stuff. So he's a work in progress, but wow, what a debut. Mass monster. I'm not sure where he lives now. From Colombia. Wouldn't be surprised if he was living in Dubai or something. A lot of these guys live in Dubai now because it's a lot friendlier bodybuilding environment than most of the world. You have a lot of support there. That's why Andrew Jack lives there. That's why a lot of guys live there. Larry Wheels spends a lot of time there. They very much appreciate bodybuilding, and bodybuilders are huge fans. The financial support is there. A lot of guys, they have like sponsors over there, somebody who basically picks up all their bills and allows them to be a full-time bodybuilder. Let's see what else we got on YouTube with Rubiel. The moment before my show. So there's just pumping up. Yeah, that neck is crazy. That is crazy. It's almost distracting. His traps. See here where he's not really flexing. You could see he doesn't have the widest clavicles, meaning the shoulder. The bones of the shoulders, clavicles, they determine your structural width, and then you put muscle on top of that. But you could see he doesn't have super wide clavicles, and the fact that his trapezius muscle is so incredibly developed, it sort of takes away from the width of the shoulder. So, I would not. I don't even know if he trains neck. Some people just have these massive necks. Oh, that's the Elite Pro. We can't show that. Yeah, I'm just doing. So here was his third place. I'm just doing all the shorts. He's like super. Yeah, you can see his quads. They have pretty decent separation. They could be deeper separated. They could have more clear, deeper separations between the individual heads of the quads, but they're not just big shapeless blobs. Yeah, this is actually his front double is probably like one of his worst poses. And I'm being very critical because he's going to be going. People are already talking about this guy as a future Arnold Classic champ, a future Mr. Olympia. So, and people freak out. People who don't understand all the different criteria that these contests are judged by, they'll see someone who's this big and freaky and immediately say, "Here's your next Mr. Olympia." This guy is better than Hadi and Derek and Curry and all Nick Walker. They'll immediately jump to that conclusion when he's got a ways to go, and he's got some catching up to do with the upper body. I'd say more so the biceps. So I want to find something that shows you the side tricep because it's pretty crazy. Prague Mr. Universe. Wow, this was 2022. So this
guys, right now you can get 50% off of daily annual membership. I have been in Europe for the past few months.
Mute that. Skip the ad. So this was last year. This was an elite show. So this was when he was competing in that other IFBB. And, in 2017, when that split happened at the Olympia, where by the end of the Olympia weekend that year, there were two different IFBB leagues. There was the one that's, the main one, Pro League, headed by Jim Mannion, and then Rafael Santoja, who was running mostly the amateur portion of the IFBB at that time. He broke off and formed the Elite League. So this was Rubiel a year ago, or maybe more than a year now. This was 2022. Condition was definitely not great here. He's certainly learned, or his coach, I want to say George Farrer is his coach, and I haven't confirmed that, but I saw George taking pictures with him, so I ran off and made a jump to a conclusion on that and said he's probably probably his coach. But yeah, you could see he had a ways to go in terms of condition here, but he had very little competition. He was dwarfing everybody. But once you get into the Pro League, yeah, you saw he was up against Samson Dauda, who was third at the Olympia. He's a reigning Arnold Classic champ. He's probably going to win the next Arnold Classic. Nick Walker's not going in. I don't know who's really going to challenge him. Hadi and Derek's certainly not going to be doing the Arnold Classic. Oh, he had really bad gyno there. Did he get that out? He must have, because I didn't notice it. He must have had that removed. You could see it on the right pec. He had a huge lump around his nipple there. Talking about dude's nipples. Yeah, I don't want to make this all about Rubiel, but until you guys start asking me some other questions. So this was, I don't know whose footage this was, but this was him up in getting his pro card. It looks like he's up against the other weight class winners here, so he would have been a super heavyweight. Yeah, this must be all the weight class winners, because I believe only the overall champion of whatever the name of this pro qualifier was got the pro card, and clearly he was just dwarfing everybody. Can you imagine? This isn't a knock, but can you imagine being the guy on the left and you got to go up against this guy for a pro card? It was like shooting fish in a barrel. Yeah, so now we get a look at that side tricep. Great pose for him. Incredible pose. Yeah, amazing. He's just he's a mass monster. He's a freak. This is a guy that's, like I said, he's going to take some time off. He'll probably, he might try to get into the Arnold Classic, because right now, this is the time of year when people are applying to the Arnold Classic committee. It is invitation only, of course, but a lot of people will apply and hope that their application is accepted. They do typically invite all the top Olympians, like the top 10 guys. And, a lot of them are going to say no, because they don't want to compete again that soon. Because here we are, we're almost into December. So the Arnold Classic happens first weekend in March. So right now they would have to start prep. If it's a 16-week prep, that's 4 months. So February, January, they would already have to be in prep, unless they were already in shape from something like the Olympia or one of these post-Olympia shows, in which case maybe they could take a couple weeks off, relax, and then get back into a prep mode again for the Arnold and not have to push it. I wonder if Rubiel, next Zilla, I wonder if he'll do the Arnold, or if he's thinking about the Arnold. If I were the people running the Arnold committee, I would extend an invitation to this guy. Wouldn't even think twice about it, because clearly he's a huge draw. Everybody's been talking about this guy. Oh, I can go full screen with that. Why didn't I do that in the first place? Because I forgot how. That's why. How do I do it again? Screen layout. Full sim layout. Yeah, I forgot how to do it. Oh well, sorry. You can see what it looks like. He's in Dubai today. Okay, so gonna get to now. I get some questions. All right, so now we can get to your questions, guys. Appreciate you guys coming on here. Where am I? I'm in Massachusetts. That's where I've always been. Jen is here. Jen, if you remember Jen, I hope you remember Jen from all the MD videos. She was a COO of Advanced Research Media. We're going to be working together on some content. She's going to be doing her own things, a gaming channel. that she's starting, and we're both going to be doing our own things. But I'm very, very privileged, very lucky that she's going to be helping me with my channel because technologically, I'm not the brightest. I'm not. I'll admit it right now, guys. Will you have Giles on your channel? Yeah, I assume Giles. Giles, I think, had his own channel or has his own channel. I think it's called On the Rise Media or something. So he's going to be doing his own content too. He'll probably be producing content for other people. I've been talking to other channels as well about producing content for them. But I do want to get my channel going and grow it because why not? I mean, I put in many, many years producing content and building a reputation. So why not? Lord freak. Yeah. So they're talking about Rubiel right now, Nexzilla. Yeah, he's very raw, very rough around the edges now. One of those diamond in the roughs. Certainly has plenty of mass. Like I said, just needs to balance out the upper body build. I wouldn't touch legs if I were him. I would just do like a couple sets every couple weeks, just to keep the fullness in them. But he certainly doesn't ever need any more mass in his legs. Reminds me of another guy that made his pro debut this year, Carlos Thomas Jr. A lot of similarities between the physiques, just that real round, full, hanging muscle mass. Just, the Photoshop look where I posted up a picture. Maybe I can go to that. I can probably go to that. Go to my YouTube on another. I'm going to go to that on another screen. Just bring up that picture because it was pretty crazy. So when I posted this, let's see. Yeah, here we go. So present that. Facebook, share screen. Facebook. Yeah, when I posted this, people thought that was photoshopped, AI, something, but it's a real picture of him backstage. You can see Germany's Tim Budesheim standing next there, and Tim is not a small guy by any means. Tim is freaking out. He's expressing his shock. It's a crazy, crazy physique. And in a shot like that, you can see his obliques are a little bulging, but I mean, this is a great shot for him. So much round, full muscle mass, good separation in the muscle groups. This guy's going to be damn good. I mean, everyone's going to immediately start speculating, how's he going to do the Olympia? Well, we don't know that yet, guys. Let's let him qualify for Olympia first, which he will need to qualify by winning a show. The point system, I had heard it was coming back. I haven't heard it, but then I looked into it and I haven't seen one official statement from the IPB Pro League or anything that it is. But I think it's worth bringing back at this point because we will have situations where someone like a Nathan he won 2 shows this year, qualified for the Olympia, where there were guys that were taking like second and third at multiple shows in Europe, but they didn't get to the Olympia. It wasn't a matter of points. It didn't matter. You had to win the shows. So there were guys like Alfred Shiriak. There were a few people that most of those guys that were doing multiple shows, like Theo Leguerrier, who else got in there? Andrea Mosey. There were a bunch of guys that got in by eventually winning. They did win shows, Roman Fritz, but there were a few others that they had a lot of top 5 placings in. Had the point system still been operational, those guys would have been in the Olympia. As it is, we only had 17 in the Olympic because we had a lot of dropouts leading into that show, much more than ever. Yeah, Jen, this guy is nuts. Isn't that crazy? If I was 25, I'd move to Dubai. Yeah, I mean, Mike, would you really want to? Well, if you're 25, you could. Yeah, at 50 years old, like you are now, I'm older than you, so it's okay. But, I wouldn't want to go live over there now. But at 25, if I was a single dude, bodybuilding was my whole life, and I could go to a country where they're gonna take care of me. All I got to do is eat, sleep, and train. Don't have to worry about bills. Food's covered, gear's covered, everything's covered. You just have to be the best bodybuilder you can be and represent, B-News Gym or something. I don't know. And I don't know where Rubiel lives. Does anybody know where he lives? There's a neck like a linebacker. The neck reminds me of the older guys know who I'm talking about. Herschel Walker was an NFL player years ago. I think he won the Heisman Trophy when he was in college. And then he went on to, I don't know who he played for. I'm not a football fan. I just remember he had this crazy neck. I remember even one time Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, this is how long ago this was, when Eddie Murphy was a cast member. He went on Weekend Update as Herschel Walker, and he had a big fake, like a big prosthetic latex neck. It was hilarious. I do not know. I don't know what he weighs contest, off season. I don't know much about him at all, to be honest with you. I have no idea. He looks like a big SOB, though. Giles Tiger Thomas is on the chat. Giles was the commentator for the pay-per-view over in Prague this past weekend. He was joined by guys like Chris Cormier. I think George Farah jumped in there at one point. We had heard Kevin Levrone was going to be, or there was rumored to be there, and he was going to jump in. Don't know if he ever did, because I think Giles would have let me know. Certainly. Mike Cox. Does he jump in the Arnold, make some money, or take time off to improve? He's in shape now, where he's, he could be a little sharper. So that's a tough question, because I don't think he's going to win the Arnold, because Samson Dowd has already said he's going to do the Arnold again. He's going to try to defend his title, go for a second Arnold title and another $300,000 in his bank account. Why not? Rubiel is not capable of beating Samson unless Samson's way off. I'm just being real with you guys. A lot of you guys, I see this one picture and they're like, this guy is the best bodybuilder of all time. He's the next Ronnie Coleman. Slow your roll, guys. Relax. Give him some time. He does have kind of a funky structure. Don't get me wrong. I'm still giving this guy his props. He is a freak. He looks incredible. But to beat someone like a Samson Dauda, you have to also have that pretty structure and shape along with the mass. And you need to be in good condition. So I don't know. He could do pretty well at the Arnold, I think. Because the Arnold's only got 10 or 12 guys in it. So, I could see him taking anywhere from 4th to 7th, depending on who's going to be competing at the Arnold. We know Nick Walker's not. He said that straight up. Samson will. And I don't know who else will jump in there. Maybe Krizo? We'll see. But he would get a lot more stage time and experience and, some clout just being up there with the best in the world. Because the Arnold's going to have it always has a pretty strong lineup. So could he do that? Or should he just take off the next 6 months or so, make the improvements, get those? Judging by this picture, hearing me say that he needs more arms, it sounds like I'm out of my mind or don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But you saw that video. I'm going to find some more videos, guys. Backstage with Nexzilla. Let's go to that one, shall we? There's more pumping up. So this was Rep 1. I'm stealing their video. Sorry, Rep 1. Didn't mean to do that. What am I going to do? Share screen. I'll present. Share screen. Oh, do I have too many files up? Oh, stop screen. Yeah. Okay. Present. Share screen. Share screen. It's live TV, folks. Live TV. Okay, here we go. All right, so there we go. That's backstage there. I can do full screen. How do we do full screen? Oh, full screen layout. There we go. Now you don't have to look at me anymore. So Joe says Nexzilla. Yeah, it's a great nickname. It's a great nickname. Yeah. This was backstage, pumping up. Is that Cormier? I can't tell who that is. Is that Chris? Kind of looks like him. From this distance, it's really hard to tell. Chris is even older than me, though. If I'm 54, Cormier's got to be like 56, 57 at this point. I think that's Chris. That's David Hoffman. He's a pro. He's also a pro out of Germany. Let's see, Genetic Freak. Farah told me he eats next to nothing. Also, George Farah is his coach. Yeah, but that's what Chad used to say about Rami, or maybe it was his previous coaches. Doesn't eat anywhere near as much as you would think. The size of somebody you would think, especially Rami, a guy who was up to 350 pounds in the off season, you'd think he's putting down like 10 to 15,000 calories a day. Some people, they metabolize food better, utilize it better. They don't need to go crazy on the calories. While other people with a faster metabolism might need a lot more food. But yeah, that is surprising. When you see a guy like this, wouldn't you assume he eats, he would eat way more than you or I. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he eats, you guys watching this, he might not eat as much as you. So the back looks really good there. Yeah. So Rep One guys, I want to give them credit. Rep One, German video production company, made this video. I'm looking at their footage. I should probably stop sharing their screen. Yeah. So, Jen says, freaker than Krizo. Well, what do you think his chances are winning a pro show? He could certainly win a pro show. It always depends on the lineup. If he doesn't get, an Olympian in the lineup, there are some shows, I'm sure. I've seen some shows this year that even though the issues that I talked about, I still think he would have won. And I'm not going to disrespect the guys who won those shows, but he would have beaten a few guys who won shows this year. Yeah, there's I think there's about 20 to 25 open shows that all qualify for the Olympia. And, they don't all have stellar lineups packed with, big names. Some of them might have a couple names and then a lot of I call them B-list guys just because they haven't really proven themselves at a higher level yet. It's not a disrespectful thing. Chris said a year ago he had no chest and back. Oh, I wanted to show that picture. Where did I put it? Oh, man. I'm going to have to put this on my Facebook so you can see it. I want you guys to see this picture because it is crazy. It's him 5 years ago. Yeah, I gotta get that up there. You won't believe what he looked like 5 years ago. Okay, so it's Benoit Pierre. I'm gonna put it on my screen. Public, so we can only me. Done. Post. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at this, guys. So let's go back. Okay. Doop. No, where's the picture? I thought I just put it on my feed. Didn't I put it on my feed? Hold on, guys. I want you to see this. So, feed, only me, done, post. Okay, so let me just refresh that. Oh boy. Let's see. Jeez, I can't. Did I put it up on there before already? No. Where is it? Where's that picture? Dang it. I guess I'm going to have to go to Instagram for it, guys. I'm going to go to Instagram, Benoit LaPierre. I know he's the one that put it up there. You're not going to believe it. I wouldn't make you wait this long unless it was really good, really worthwhile. So, Benoit LaPierre. It's his page. Okay, here we go. Good. All right. Ready, guys? Check this out. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. That was him in 2018. That was 5 years ago. He's certainly not like a skinny guy, but would you think that 5 years this guy could become that guy? Let's say he weighs, because I have no idea what he weighs. I don't know if anybody knows. If he weighs, say, I'm going to be very conservative, 260. If he's 260 right now in shape, I bet in this before picture he was probably like 170, maybe 180. So he was training. Looked like he was training, but he might have just been doing like body weight stuff in the before picture. Because obviously nobody gets that big unless they have freak genetics. And you don't know if you have freak genetics really unless you start training. And then you'll see very soon if you have that hyper response to everything. People who are hyper responders, they typically respond well to everything. They respond way better to training, to drugs, everything. They just get way better results because their body's just programmed to grow. Could it be tied into a lack of myostatin or follistatin? Myostatin is the one they talk about a lot, the muscle regulatory gene that, people who are massive they're thought to be deficient in it. Their body doesn't produce that gene, so the muscle growth never has a signal to stop. So they become these freaks like the Belgian Blue, the Andalusian Bulls. If you've seen pictures of them, they're like these big wads of muscle. Look like someone just slapped 1,000 pieces of clay on top of each other and got this bull that's it's like 3,000 pounds of pure muscle. They do it without any training. Obviously, they just grow that way. But people who are myostatin deficient, it's a rare thing. Although I have heard that in like West Africa, it's a lot more common. Places like Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia. Nigeria, we're seeing so much amazing talent. We're seeing Samson. Samson Dowd is Nigerian descent. Blessing Awodibu, and of course Andrew Jacked. And there's probably way more guys over in Nigeria with that potential that we don't even know about yet. Beast Coast says arms are very short. I wouldn't say he's kind of got a long waist. Like I said, his structural proportions are not ideal. He doesn't have an ideal structure. Ideally we would see more of a V taper, a smaller waist, a more narrow waist to make the X frame really more prominent. But he's going to work. He's doing pretty damn well for what he has there, I would say. Giles says he's in Dubai today. Yeah, so I don't know does he not live? I assumed he lived there. I assume like everybody lives in Dubai now. It's quite a ridiculous assumption, I'm sure. But Giles says he's going to get his arm stretched. Giles, I appreciate you being on this because it is 10:33 p.m. over where Giles is in the United Kingdom, which growing up I called it England, but you got to be specific. You got to be all inclusive now and say United Kingdom. Was it always United Kingdom or it wasn't separate countries back then. Mike Cox has some emojis. I'm from Australia. Oh, that's Alex Fragnito. So Alex, I'm going to give this guy a shout out. Alex has been a friend of mine since, I want to say the mid 90s. He was one of the cameramen that we use quite frequently on the American Muscle TV show on ESPN, which is where I got my start in this industry. I worked on that show from 1991 till about 1998. Alex and I did many, many shoots together. A very, very talented videographer, cool guy. He moved back to Australia, so I haven't seen him in many, many years. But still one of my favorite people, Alex Fragnito. Yeah, thank you, Alex. Appreciate you being on here and joining the channel. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I appreciate so much if you just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us out. Put your mouse on the video and click the full screen option. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so when I'm on YouTube, I do that. Gotcha. I forgot. I know. It's only been a couple weeks since I used it. Him, Samson, and Jack didn't call out. Well, we got to get Blessing in there too. I don't even know if he's Colombian. Obviously that's the country he was born and raised in, but obviously I don't think I'm out of line by saying he's obviously of African descent. What part of Africa? I'm going to assume West Africa because Africa is a massive continent and you have a lot of genetic disparity. The people on the right side of the continent seem to be a lot smaller and more slight in build. Think about Somalia, think about Ethiopia. And then the western part of the continent, you have places like Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Uganda. Much, much bigger, solid human beings. So, yeah, I'm going to assume, and hopefully not make an ass out of you and me, that he might be Nigerian. Maybe he should, if he doesn't know, he should get some DNA test going. Giles says he blew everyone away in the side tricep. Side tricep is a great shot for him. It is a crazy, crazy shot. Happy to be working with Ron again. Jen, very happy to have you here. And Giles, I appreciate you being here so much, Giles. Giles and I will work together again very soon. His channel, my channel, someone else's channel. I'm not really sure where, but we're very good friends and we work well together, and we have the same twisted sense of humor. So Beast Coast just saw I'm going to call out with Samson and Krizo. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find some judging footage from that show. So that would be the 2023 Prague Pro judging. Let's see what I can find for you guys. Prague Pro top 6 results. Prejudging wrap up. This was Zen Fitness. Yeah. Simpson versus Krizo. That's Nick Strength and Power. Should I steal from Nick? Whose footage should I steal, guys? I guess I'll go with this guy. I'll take it from Zen Fitness. Got 36K views on this. Oh, it looks like it is full screen, so let's go. Share screen, share screen, share screen. Prague Pro. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this was the call out. And there you can see. Well, Zen, we gave you a free ad. Gave you a free ad for your channel. Well, it's only fair. I'm stealing your footage here. So the first call out looks like Roman Fritz was there. Holy Lord. Was that that can't be a call out. That's just like the whole freaking lineup. How many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's too many people for a call out. What the heck? What are they thinking? Yeah. So there's Nathan and Roman. I don't know who he's pointing to because I have the audio turned off. Is that Joseph Kveton? That's who he looks like. Shuming Yan from China there. Yeah, I thought I was just going to see. So there's Nathan and Samson. Krizo. Top 4. Yeah, so this is how you can see how he compares. Samson's has got beautiful shape. Nathan's got really nice shape too. In terms of mass, the biggest man in terms of mass on stage was Samson. He's 300 pounds, give or take. He might be like 295 by now or something. But they kept Samson and Krizo in the middle, and they moved Rubiel and Nathan around. I'm sure. Yeah, looking at Rubiel now, Nexzilla, his chest sort of flattens out a little bit in the front shots, like the front lat spread and the front double. So I would also, he has good chest thickness, but I think a little bit more maybe in the upper would help in those shots where it won't flatten out as much. So now we see the back shots. Who's got the best back here? Samson was always heavily criticized for his back development. It's gotten much, much better. Yeah, Rubiel's got a pretty damn good back now that I look at it. Yeah. Good times, guys. Let's see. Bro Amigo. I like that. It's bro and amigo together. Favorite muscle to flex. Wow. I guess chest. Yeah. Rubiel is the new Rami. I'm not doing webcam, guys. I'm not doing webcam stuff. I'm not in that position yet. But favorite muscle to flex. Side chest is always like my best pose, so I always like doing that. Quads, I had really great quads, so I tore this one a couple months back. Yeah. Nexzilla. I mean, this was a guy that in today's day and age with social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, I mean, he wouldn't even really need to compete. He could have just started all his own platforms and, have millions and millions of followers and fans and likes and views and clicks. Don't know if he speaks English. That could hold him back on social media platforms. If you're trying to reach the biggest audience possible, I know English isn't the only language in the world, but it's kind of a universal language spoken by a lot of people around the world. Hope I don't sound like an ugly American in saying that. Jen, reminding you guys, like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Please do that. This is just the beginning, guys. We're going to be doing, more of what you were used to seeing in the past, fully edited videos with clips and all that good stuff. But have to start somewhere. Had to start, and I figured the best way was to just talk to you guys again. Let's see. Beast Coast Simpsons eating up qualifications. Yeah, that's why maybe we should bring back the point system. Because some people get very upset when they see, well, especially now that there's no point system, they get upset when they see somebody win a show and then they keep going and winning more shows because only the winners of shows now go to the Olympia to get that qualification. So they see that as this person like Samson taking away the qualification from someone else. In this case, Krizo would have had the qualification. He would have won the show if Samson hadn't done it. Just like, what was the show 2 weeks ago? Romania. Yeah, he would have won. He would have gotten, Beirut would have gotten another qualification for Olympia, but Samson did that show too. But you know what? You can't fault the guy. As Mike points out, he's a professional athlete. This is his job. None of the other guys are worried about him making money or losing money. Everyone's in it for themselves. So I don't think anyone says, yeah, I better not do that show because I don't want to take money that somebody else could have made. No, I mean, it's in this sport, careers, you never know when they're going to end. Anybody could have a catastrophic injury or illness, knocks them out of the sport. So you never know how long you have left as an athlete in any sport, really. But bodybuilding has no guaranteed contracts or anything like that. These guys, they have to make all their own money through sponsors, through contest winnings, through their own, social media platforms, coaching, whatever it is. But it's not like in the NFL or the NBA. These guys, sometimes professional basketball, football, baseball players, they sign like multi-year deals for $50, $100 million or more, and they're guaranteed contracts, meaning they could be on a 5, 6, 7-year contract. Now, let's say 5 years. I don't think they go that long. They could get a horrible injury the first year and never be able to play again, but they're guaranteed that whole $50 or $100 million anyway because they have great lawyers. Cha-ching. Bodybuilding has nothing like that. Once you can no longer compete, you're done. And, most of these guys don't make their money from contest winnings because only a few guys are winning shows. And most shows are $10,000 first prizes, which in the scheme of things, when they're paying coaches, if they're paying for all this food, PEDs, it's not a lot of money. It's certainly nothing compared to what athletes in other sports make. So they have to make all the money while they can in any way they can. I was with Samson I had actually, I had just messaged Samson yesterday just to see what he was up to see if he was doing the Japan show, which is this coming weekend. He is not doing it. He's all set for the Arnold because he wants to win that again. Because Japan's probably a $10,000 show. So why bother doing that? We can rest up and go win another $300,000 at the Arnold, which I don't know who's beating him. I don't see anybody beating Samson at the Arnold Classic, honestly. Don't know what his weight is. Does anybody know? Giles, do you know? Yeah. He's from Colombia. Yeah. Colombia. It's Colom with a C-O-L-O-M. I'm always writing and typing C-O-L-U-M, Colombia. But people correct me on that all the time, which, I should know how to spell it because my ex-brother-in-law just divorced my sister-in-law. But his family was from Colombia. He spent a lot of time in Colombia. His kids go to Colombia. My wife's stepmother is Colombian. Her half-brother and half-sister are half Colombian. So I should know how to spell Colombia. That's the point I'm trying to make, but clearly I don't. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate you joining us here. Appreciate all you guys who are, devoted MD, video watchers, subscribers. Appreciate you following me over here. We're going to have a lot more better content. This is just the beginning. In fact, until this morning, I wasn't even thinking. I was just sort of toying with the idea. I knew I was going to come back and do something with this channel. I just didn't know how or when. And, thanks to a good talk Jen and I had this morning, we're going to be collaborating on this channel. And, she'll be doing her own stuff too. And I'll be doing things for other people, but I definitely want to get this going. Giles did an amazing job on the pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, if I'm a promoter and I'm going to have somebody commenting on my pay-per-view, Giles is the man I want. He's done a lot of them over in Europe, shows in Spain, Italy, I think. I know he's done it in Spain a few times. He's very, very good. So Patrick says, will I still work with Steve? Well, Steve's not working anymore. Steve's retiring. So the company is being shut down. There will be no more website eventually, maybe very soon. The YouTube channel, I don't think there's any plans to continue that. That's going to go away soon. The magazine's already gone. If you have this, keep it. If you have it in plastic, I would keep it in plastic. This will be the very last issue of Muscular Development ever printed. A magazine that was in print under that name since 1965 or 1966. It was the last print magazine. Muscle and Fitness just came back. It's coming back as a quarterly, but Flex is gone. Muscle Mag is long gone. Iron Man's gone. All those magazines we older guys used to love, all gone. Times changed. Like, there were silent pictures, and then they had talkies. There was vinyl records. Then there were cassettes. Then there were CDs. Yeah. And then everything went digital pretty much after that. But Steve WS, we'll be able to do the New York Pro. Oh, okay. I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him in the New York Pro. And yeah, I mean, contest coverage is something I like to do. I enjoy doing. I would like to continue doing that. Just be a matter of getting a little bit of sponsorship, which I don't think will be a problem, just to cover some expenses. But yeah, for sure, New York Pro is a great show. I've been to almost every one of them. I was going to it when it was still called Night of Champions. I think I've only missed one in the past 23 years, something like that. I haven't missed many of them. Great show. It's typically held now at the Marriott Glen Point in Teaneck, New Jersey, which is just over the bridge from New York, the George Washington Bridge. It's just over the border. It's like the first exit once you get into New Jersey. I personally like, it had a certain flavor, that show, when it was in New York, because New York City. It was at the Tribeca Performing Arts Center for a long time. That's where Rami won his first 2 New York Pros. But yeah, let's see. Steve asked him. So I think Mike is implying that Steve said, "You're doing the New York Pro." I mean, Steve wants all the top names in his show, and it's a great show. It's a great title to have. It's third in prestige only to the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. So it's definitely a show. If you can do it, it's a nice way to make your mark on the sport, serve notice that you're someone you're respected, and for the other guys to worry about. So I hope he does do it. Yeah, I agree, Jen. That would be cool. Yeah, and New York, it's New Jersey, but that show has had a long history of freaks. Some people have won that show, like Marcus Rule, Nasser, Paul Dillette. Paco Batista didn't win, but he was a huge crowd favorite. A guy named Heiko Kalbach from Germany. The New York, New Jersey bodybuilding fans, they really appreciate the big, freaky bodybuilders. So a guy like that is a perfect fit for New York Pro. Perfect fit. Just scoffing my salmon, I think it means eating. It's got a lot of omega-369 oils. It's good for you. Live TV, you gotta love it. Yeah, Beast Coast. It's odd, but it's true that his arms look 23. They look massive in the side chest and the side tricep. When he throws them up in that front double, you're not as overwhelmed anymore. They're not as impressive. So you want to look great in every pose. So he does have some work to do. He's a huge guy, but he's still rough around the edges. He still needs some polish. He needs to bring up some areas, get a little better condition. But my gosh, for his first pro show, he was an amateur the day before. He just turned pro, and he beat someone like Nathan DeAsha. Though a lot of people thought Nathan rightfully probably should have beat him. I'm sure Nathan feels that way. What else we got? Lauren Lauder, that is Giles's partner, as they say in the UK. Girlfriend sounds like a teenage thing, so we don't call people boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. Mike says they takes next to nothing too, just hyper responder. Yeah, it's the assumption. People will look at a guy like that. Maybe I'll go back to the Facebook page. I'll go back to the Facebook page just to show you that. Keep that picture up again. They see a guy this massive, and they assume, well, he must be on so much crap. If I took a bunch of crap, I'd look just like that. But you wouldn't. I'll leave site. Which site do I want to leave? I'm going to leave Instagram. I'm going to leave YouTube. And I'm going to put this picture back up. I'm going to go back to, you can only have so many screens up on this. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, now you see him again. Wow. Yeah, someone who's a hyper responder, and this gets me in massive arguments with people all the time. They don't need to take a ton of drugs. And, you and I, regular human beings, we could take all the drugs in the world. We could take, I've said this to people just to be a wise ass or just to get a rise out of them after they make uninformed statements like that. I said, why don't you take all the drugs you can possibly take for a couple of years, see if you look like that? And they're not going to. But I've known plenty of guys with regular or just above average genetics that took massive, massive doses of steroids, growth hormone, peptides. They didn't look like that. You have to have the genetics. And like I said, you don't even know when you start out if you have those genetics. You have to start training. And then some people, they just respond so much better to gear. They do. I don't know why. They have more androgen receptors. I'm sure there's a biological basis for it that I'm just not aware of because I'm just a bro scientist. I'm not even a bro scientist. Lauren, yeah, like pure genetic freak. Beat Nathan, yeah. Maxilla. Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. I wouldn't say he's great yet. I think he's still got work to do, but definitely the most exciting. No, I'm all set, Jen. Thank you. Most exciting pro debut we've seen in a while because he was very much an unknown. I mean, Krizo was pretty well known for a couple of years before he came over to the IFBB. We saw him in a lot of videos, and we had a lot of people talking about how would this guy compare to the top Olympians like Rami and Brandon Curry and so on and so forth. But we didn't hear much about this guy until very recently. So it's almost like he came out of nowhere. As you can see, he hasn't even been bodybuilding that long. 5 years ago, he was a regular looking guy, I bet he was like 160, 170 pounds, 180 at the most. He went from a regular guy in the gym that you'd walk right past, wouldn't even say this guy's a bodybuilder, to this. So that is amazing. That is crazy. The neck and traps. Yeah, I hope he does do New York Pro. I would love to go down and see this guy in person, maybe interview him. My Spanish is pretty crappy. He's from Colombia in South America. Yeah, Colombia. Beast Coast, you're like me. You spelled it wrong. It's Colom. I know when you say Colum, you'd think it's a U, but it's actually an O. I don't know. Oh, wow. So Giles has a weight. He says he's in the 280s. So this is a massive human being. He's next to Tim Budasheim. He doesn't look like he's that much taller than Tim either. And Tim's probably about 5'9". So this is a massive human being. Wow. 280s. So already he's one of the biggest men. I mean, the only guys who are that heavy are Andrew Jacked, Samson, of course, and Rami. Then you got who's that giant guy from France? I know I should remember off the top of there's what's his name? French pro. He's massive. Not the best structure and shape, but he's a huge dude. Can't think of his name at the time, but yeah, he's definitely someone who's also heavier. Smuggling in his neck. American Muscle, Alfie Newman. Yeah, for those of you who remember the American Muscle show on ESPN, I worked on that show for about almost 8 years, and it was a monthly show. We had all types of profiles, training segments, cooking. John Romano had a cooking segment on there. Gossip, fashion, contest coverage. It was a really cool show. It was one of those things that at the time we didn't know how great it was, like a lot of things, until it was gone. Until I look back at it many years later and go, wow, that was a really cool show. Because you're never going to see anything like that on TV again. You can see stuff like that on YouTube. You can put anything you want on YouTube, but we don't have that presence on mainstream television, network television anymore, or even cable. We have video. We have Generation Iron movies have played on Netflix and so forth, but we don't have anything like on a regular basis, content-wise, on any of these streaming services. What's that, Branch? Flick the comment. Back to you, Ron. Back to you, Ron. He has a crazy side tricep. Can't keep good people down. Yeah, they're talking about Alfie Newman still. Thank you, Giles. I love you too. My brother from another mother and brother. Changed names so no one knew me. Chris. Oh, I didn't know you were Beast. Oh, well, Chris had a show on Instagram for a little while called Beast Coast Live. I was a guest on his interview show. You should get that going again, Chris. Nathan was my flight last night. Well, that was the first call out. 8 guys? That's ridiculous. I don't think a call out should ever have more than 6 people in it because you can't really, unless you have them hold those poses for like a full minute, do you really have time to sort out 8 different physiques? and how they compare to each other. That's tough. Oh, that was Jan Turk that I thought was somebody else. She didn't know it's my live stream. Nathan came over to talk to me for the whole flight. Started told me worst lap dance ever. What? Prizo is wider. Yeah, Rubiel. It's hard to tell from this picture. He doesn't have a wide shoulder span. The clavicle bones are not super wide, but those legs, my goodness. I mean, we've had two guys make debuts this year: Carlos Thomas Jr. and this Rubiel Mosquera, with the most insane quads I've seen since Rami, since Hassan Mustafa. You don't see. There's plenty of guys with big legs, but this is a whole other level. Yeah, bigger legs than me. Even bigger. Yeah. Oh, he speaks a little English. Well, that's good because I speak very rudimentary Spanish. Very rudimentary. I can have basic conversations, but once people start getting too clever, I'm like, I'm done. But my wife can translate. Yes, his side chest and side triceps are pretty awesome. Derek, I'm not doing webcam stuff. I'm 54-year-old man. I will not be flexing unless you catch me back when the weather gets warmer and I'm doing these in tank tops or something. Maybe then. Jen, yeah, where did you hear that, Jen? The point system coming back. I keep hearing it, but I haven't seen an official announcement anywhere. That's what I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see that. I'll stop screen. Yeah. Are you flexing right now, Joe? Samson. No, I messaged Samson yesterday, Jen. He got back to me. He's done until the Arnold Classic. So he's all set. Oh, yeah. So Giles is confirming. He's tired. He's had a long year. I mean, he competed back in March at the Arnold. Did the Olympia, of course. Did 2 shows post-Olympia. Theo is Schuming, I guess, too. Yeah. How soon before we see 100 MPD qualify for the O? Well, you would have to have 100 pro shows, Mike. So I don't, there are way more pro shows that feature the men's physique division than the open bodybuilding. To explain real briefly for you guys, every pro show doesn't have every division. In fact, only a few of them, I'd say like a quarter of them, 25% or so, have all the divisions. Most of them will have, the vast majority of pro shows will only have 2, 3, or 4 divisions. Typically, a lot of shows there'll be a big regional show and there'll be a pro show that's part of it, same building, all that same night, with usually like men's physique, women's bikini. Do I have to say women's bikini? Men's physique, bikini, maybe figure, something like that, maybe classic, but they won't have all the divisions because they have to pay sanction fees, I believe, for every division. And it's cheaper sanction fees for those other divisions. I believe open is the most expensive. So unless there are 100 of those shows that have men's physique, we won't see 100. Yeah. Samson is doing the Arnold. Yeah, he's confirmed on that. And the Arnold UK. For you guys over in the UK, I want to check them out. So that's 300 plus 150, 450. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Urs only for 2K. Ah. Yeah, Urs. 4K. Samson was I'm sure it was about 290, between 290 and 300. He's been in the 290s for quite a while. Urs. Oh yeah, because Urs did the Prague show too. He had just won the show in Texas the week before, and then he did the Prague show. Yeah, Urs is freaking damn great. 3rd place in the world. From Little Acorns, AJ Gillespie. Team's still together. Yeah, I mean, we're all good friends, guys. We work so well together. We've developed these friendships, especially working the shows, such long, crazy hours, and we really relied on each other to get through those weekends and put the content out. We became really, really good friends, and we're still good friends. What is it, talkie? So, Lauren, there used to be silent movies. So the first 25 years or so that there were motion pictures, maybe 30 years or something like that, there was no sound. It would just be black and white, and somebody would go blah, 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 blah. You'd see their mouth move, and then there'd be a title screen next. It would be their dialogue and say, like, where are you going with that horse or something? And then sound came along, and talkies were obsolete because nobody's going to go see a silent picture if they can go see a movie that's also got sound and dialogue and everything, music. So talkies made the silent picture's obsolete. Yeah. This all happened about 10,000 years ago. Last ice age. Yeah. New York Pro is a big man show. It's true. It's like a walkie, only they talk. Rule. It's good to have place meatheads can be, especially us old meatheads. Power might be coming back. Either Giles and I will talk, but I would bring it back here, or Giles is going to be doing his own stuff too. Giles has an incredible studio that he built in his home. It's On the Rise Media Studios, fully outfitted, lighting, sound, multiple cameras. It's a professional recording studio for podcasting, and he's been doing a great job with it for years. So he's going to be doing all kinds of stuff. Something chosen the world, mate. Yeah, I mean, I took plenty of steroids. I trained my ass off. I never looked like that guy, not remotely, not even close, not even close. Oh boy, let's see what else we got. We're gonna be going soon. It's getting late. We've been going over an hour already. Thanks, Raymond. Mike would have been such a bad influence from that years ago. Mike didn't need it. Mike and I, we inhaled, we did all kinds of stuff back in the day. As Jen reminds, the best way to help us grow, like, share, subscribe, and click notifications. Thank you for subscribing, Giles. Thank you. You hugged Rubiel. He's huge. I hope you weren't wearing a white jacket. You got all the protein all over you. There we go. Morgan asked. Thank you, Jen. I just couldn't remember his name. So Morgan is like 6'3", 320 or something on stage, 315 to 325, somewhere in that range. Massive human being. Gets in a crazy shape. Okay, Giles is doing the phonetic pronunciation of Theo's last name. It's Ligerier. Wow, that's a crazy name. Yeah. I mean, Global Muscle is Giles' show. That's his baby. He did 8 seasons for MD, a couple hundred episodes, and it's too good of a show to go away. Giles is too talented. It'll be coming back soon, guys. And, I'll be collaborating and sharing links with you guys and everything when, we're all going to support each other. We all want to continue in the industry. We're all going to continue in the industry. We love this too much. I couldn't walk away from this industry. People have been sending me like, you should try this job or that job, things totally unrelated to bodybuilding fitness. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate you thinking about me and everything, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving the industry. I'm going to still be on YouTube. I'm still going to be doing interviews, contest coverage, all kinds of stuff because I'm good at it. I know I'm good at it. And it's what I love. It's my passion. I've been bodybuilding. I've been training for 40 years now, a little over 40 years, competed for 24 years, working full-time in this industry since January of 1991. So, yeah, I'm not walking away. I'm not going anywhere. Scott Rosado. Yeah, Scott. So the next one I'll do will be about training. The next one of these, I'll do this. So if you're on my Instagram, Ron Harris Muscle is my Instagram. I'll be putting out posts when I'm going to be going live again, and I'll be doing topics, at least a topic that'll be a good starting point. So we'll do one on training for older guys soon, because I know there's like Scott, myself, there's a lot of us out there. Not a lot. I think most people our age have given up, have quit training long ago, but there are plenty of us who still hit the gym just about every day, still train hard, still try to keep as much muscle mass, strength as possible. So yeah. What happened? First call took 8th. Yeah. Point system coming back. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. I'm going to look into that. So I'll have that info next time for you guys. Arnold is short turnaround. Yeah. Yeah, Samson harder, Chris. It's true. That's all he's really lacking. Yeah, he could have a little more back, but it's the conditioning. He's still doing very well. Obviously, he won the Arnold. He took 3rd in the world. He only got beat by Derek and Hadi. So he's doing very well. But with that extra level of condition, I think he'd be beating literally everybody. He's got this beautiful physique with tons of mass. Such a great hybrid of the mass and the aesthetics in one guy. A 300-pound guy with aesthetics and a small waist. And all he needs is a little bit more condition, a little bit harder look. Can Milos get him, Simpson? I don't know. It's funny because people always say he should go to this coach, that coach. maybe that would, I don't know if another coach would make a difference or not. I don't know. But people, we love to speculate. We love to speculate, especially we're heading into kind of a slow time in the bodybuilding industry. So next week, this Saturday, I should say, in Japan, that's going to be the last show for a while until first weekend of March. We're going to have a good span of time here with no contest to talk about. So we'll have to think of other stuff. Yeah. Glad movies have moved on to talking. Yeah. I don't know if they're all necessarily better. I use the closed captions, and I am a little hard of hearing, as you guys know. I typically, when I go to the shows, that's the only time I'll put my, I have hearing aids, but I don't wear them all the time. But I still like the closed captions because I don't like to miss anything important in the dialogue. Coaches been in the movie. Yeah, Lauren has a show, had a show on MD. We got to speak in the past tense called Buff Bombshells. That'll be, I'm sure Giles is going to continue producing content, as is Lauren. Like I said, they got that great studio there. They're both very good at what they do. All the connections in the industry with athletes and promoters and everything. Why wouldn't you keep going? Yeah. So, the important guys. Hug Simpson too. I'm gonna eat so much Thursday. Oh yeah, Thursday's Thanksgiving here in the USA. Obviously, all you US people know, but if you're outside the USA, Thanksgiving is it's a day we celebrate. I'm really not sure. The Pilgrims' first Thanksgiving in the New World, back in, I think it was like 1621 or something. I don't know. I should know this because it happened. It happened about 30, 40 miles away from where I am right now at Plymouth Plantation in Massachusetts here, out on Cape Cod. Yeah. Prog security guy, big dude. All right. Happy holidays. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I do appreciate you all joining me here today very, very much. To those of you who subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. We're going to be doing much, much bigger and better things here. Thanks to Jen for, agreeing to collaborate with me on this stuff. We make a great team. She'll be doing her own stuff, of course, and I'll let you guys know about that, especially if you're into gaming. Gaming is a lot more popular than bodybuilding. Who knew? I guess everybody knew that. And that's it. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Probably do another one of these this week. Why not? Something similar. And then we're going to be starting different types of programming again. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're in the U.S., have a great Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you before then, enjoy yourselves. Eat whatever the heck you want. And I will see you right here again next time on the Ron Harris channel. Thanks for watching.